What's going on, everybody? It's Lucky, and I'm out here on a beautiful Albuquerque day where I'm supposed to be at work, but I decided to play a little bit of hooky. I had to pay some bills. I just went over here to the bank and paid my rent, and I just thought I'd go around the neighborhood over here where I'm at and maybe, you know, walk down memory lane a little bit, look at some of the businesses. I'm kind of in the mood to maybe go rent a movie and, you know, maybe sell a few DVDs that I have and just check out some electronics. And I don't know, maybe there's a place around here where I could go do that. And anyway, drive around with me a little bit here. Hopefully it turns out to be something pretty interesting, and I'll be right back. All right, everybody. Like I said, I'm coming out here looking around trying to find a place that offers music, books, videos, software, you know, the usual kind of stuff. I'm playing around with the Osmo. Nobody's really following me around or taping this. I'm using a device called the Osmo Mobile 3, which is a handheld video gimbal. But yeah, take a walk with me over here. I'm over here in front of this place that's no longer in service anymore. Unfortunately, I found a place that would offer all that media that I wanted, but they happen to be closed. I'm standing outside of what used to be the Hastings entertainment store here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was just a really fun place that I'm sure a lot of people in Albuquerque will agree that they're kind of sad that it's gone and so on. Right over here in this little area would have been the doors to come into the Hastings. You might remember seeing this a lot. No backpacks allowed. So yeah, unfortunately you don't get to see a lot beyond this point. Kind of papered up the whole thing. There's this little vestibule in between where it goes in. And this actually used to be a Walmart when it began its life, but it was the Hastings for quite a long time. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that you can't see into there and see exactly what's going on, but you win some, you lose some. These little garden, you can kind of always tell what used to be an old Walmart and even an old Kmart. They look a little bit different in different areas, and I'm going to show that in a couple areas that I go to in the next following videos here. But there's a couple places around town that used to be an old Walmart that are easily identified by the garden section that are behind these kind of bars or whatever. It's kind of a neat thing. This one's all covered with razor wire and all that good stuff. Some folks doing some maintenance down here in the ditch. So you got your razor wire up here. So don't dare try and jump in there. You're gonna get cut up pretty good. But yeah, these little sections right here, you can see over there is the door to get into the store that would have emptied out here into the garden area where they keep the plants and potting soil and all that kind of good stuff. Hobby Lobby closed the doors over here and moved to a new location that's I would say much nicer up the road or whatever. But now what you got is just kind of parking lot. I just saw somebody like zooming through here. They were doing like 40 miles an hour zooming through here a few minutes ago. And then I parked my Batmobile right in the middle of the whole thing. I hope nobody runs into it. So yeah, just a quick little video kind of showcasing a place in Albuquerque history that's not around anymore. I don't think I'm alone in saying that I wish that the place didn't close down, that there were you know, some way that it would have pulled through the bankruptcy and not closed its doors. A lot of people miss it. This is one of the nicer ones in town. There's one up in my neck of the woods that I'm going to do filming at because there's a lot of empty buildings over there. I just get a kick out of walking around some of these empty and closed places. The economy is not doing too bad. You know, it's not like outstanding, but Albuquerque and New Mexico in general is kind of a resilient place. When the economy dips up and down, it's like people just know how to float. If that makes any sense, they're out there kind of just floating in the water. whenever the flood comes, and then they just deal with it. They do what they got to do. Albuquerque's a tough kind of place like that. I'm gonna walk over here and look at, oh great. This is the place where you would drop off your rentals over here. I used to love coming to Hastings because you could rent like VHS tapes all the way up until when they closed. You could rent VHS tapes and also DVDs and Blu-rays and all that kind of stuff. And then you could, you know, put them in one of these bins when you got done with them. Right now, it's all stuffed full of trash. I wonder what kind of person is it that just decides to come over here and stuff a bunch of trash in here, you know? You got to really be even more border than I am to come and do something like that, seems like. So there's a lock on there. I wonder who has the key. If you've got the key to this and you end up watching this video somehow and you'd like to do a video with me of like opening the Hastings locker after all these years of it being closed, that would be funny. But hit me up or whatever. Lucky7, Lucky Novaria on Facebook. But here's somebody's lettering. They put bash. That's kind of cool. Those letters are expensive just to be throwing around. And they're like $1 a piece or something. 49 cents. Well, somebody was dedicated, took their time to go to Lowe's or Home Depot to buy those and put them on there. All right, something that's kind of fun for me in Albuquerque, and you know, it's like the same all over the place, is walking around and seeing the stickers that people put. This is a common one that you see, Ozoner. You see that around town. There's a pretty scary looking death dealer right there. I don't know what that is. And then somebody's tags. Looks like a Risk. And I don't know what this is. Maybe one of you guys could read that out there. I'm just gonna leave it there and then let somebody else cipher it. But yeah, it's kind of cool to look at the different things that people sort of plaque or tag, as it were, on the stop signs and stuff like that as you go. There's another one over here I'm gonna walk over to. I ran into a guy at the gas station the other day, and it was over there on the corner of Wyoming and Constitution down the road, and he was remarking about how things are just like, every time he comes back, and he's visiting from El Paso and his kids live here, every time he comes back, like, things change. And somebody put Supreme. That's pretty wild. That looks like it was made on like a label machine or something. A lot of taggers get creative with like leaving their stuff, you know. So there's some right there. Nothing on the back of this guy. There's a little area sort of beside the Hastings. I like to wander into these places that are just like not around anymore, kind of check out this kind of stuff. But I'm walking down over here where once upon a time was, I think, an Albertsons or Rayleigh's grocery store, or maybe both. Maybe it was both, I don't remember. Maybe you remember some of the things that used to be in this area. If you do, that'd be really awesome if you'd chime in and let me know in the comments there. I'm gonna try and peek inside there just a little bit. There's a little vestibule. This place, they turned it into that Spirit Superstore during like the September, October months. I don't think we're gonna be able to see a lot in there. Oh, maybe there's more than meets the eye here. So, man, I love looking inside empty buildings. I'd like to be able to get in there and walk around. That'd be really awesome. So I don't know exactly what was here. For a minute, it looks like something like had been opened over here for a while. I imagine they're just keeping it on hand, waiting for it to become like that Spirit Superstore again. There's a little vestibule so that you could step inside what used to be the grocery store. Now, up here around the corner is a place that used to be located on Candelaria and Wantabo. It's Manal Collectibles. It used to be Noble Collectibles. Used to be Noble Comics. a place that my brother Danny and I used to go hang out a lot at. It's a cool place to go if you want to buy like comic books, video games, DVDs. You got a ton of DVDs in there. Just a super cool place to go visit if you're around in this area. It's Noble Comics. I give props to them for keeping up on like the older medias, older gaming systems and everything. In this area over there, there's a Payless shoe stores, which has kind of gone the way of a lot of businesses in today's economy. It's not open anymore. That Hastings over there that we were at, if I recollect correctly, and if you know Albuquerque history, maybe you could correct me if I'm wrong, but that Hastings didn't always used to be there. And they had built it, and it was a great big Hastings Supercenter. And it started its life over here across the road in one of these places that I'll stop over here and videotape for a quick minute. But maybe you can tell me exactly where the Hastings was, or if it was even over here. I don't know. One thing for sure that was over here was a place called Salmon's, and it's a plumbing and electrical store. That's a local outfit that I used to work for, and it moved up the street to another location on Eubank and Montgomery, which is the one that I used to work at. Which used to be the Bird of Paradise, a liquor store, even before that. So, I don't know. Albuquerque has this constant evolving history. I guess all I'm trying to do is kind of look back on, a little bit out of history that I know about. A lot of different things are new and coming in here. Like gas stations are changing. We no longer really have 7-Elevens. They changed to DK. And a place called Quick Stop, if I'm not mistaken. And it's, just business as usual, I guess. But if you grew up over here and got kind of used to like seeing the same things every day, like 7-Elevens and different things, and it kind of bums you out a little bit to see things changing right under your nose. But I guess that's progress. All right, now I took the gimbal off the stand and I'm just kind of cruising along here. I got my Moment fisheye lens and kind of trying out to see what kind of production we get out of there, what kind of production value that adds with the gimbal applied with the fisheye lens. I think so far this is my favorite lens. I mean, I didn't really get to try out the other ones so much yet. It's kind of one of those things that as you go along, you get to like mess around with. Over here is a Dunkin' Donuts. It's been over here for a little while. But I used to cruise past here on my way back from work, riding my bike all over the neighborhood up here. I used to put about 250 to 300 miles a week on a bicycle. Somebody put some perfectly good cigars there. Somebody's a good cigar smoker. I don't know if those are good ones or not. But there's your Dunkin' Donuts. We're in this shopping center across the street now. We're Michael's and Party City, Chuck E. Cheese, Natural Grocers. There's a vegetarian restaurant called The Acre that I haven't got to check out. I don't know if that's still going strong or not. It's supposed to be a pretty good place though, from what I hear on like the vegan forums, cater to some vegan friendly type of dishes and so on. This is a place that my family will regular. It's a party city. It has balloons and a lot of stuff on Halloween. You'll typically see a lot of traffic over there to pick up costumes and all that kind of good stuff. There's a car trying to get by me. Thank you for not running me over. And that Natural Grocers used to be a Salmon's back in the day. And that great big sign is repurposed. Once again, one of those things where the sign is grandfathered in, and they make use of the sign that is there. Otherwise, if they tore that sign down, they wouldn't be able to rebuild. The code wouldn't allow for it. But those signs are like a part of the history of Albuquerque in a lot of ways, because while the content of the sign changes, the sign remains the same. Like for example, there's a bowling alley with a great big pin and bowling ball shape down on Louisiana and Manal, where that sign remains. But now it's like a Staples and Guitar Center is there, but it used to be a great big bowling alley back in the day, which closed down back in the 90s, I think, or maybe early 2000s. There was a kind of a cool toy store that used to exist right in here somewhere. I can't remember what it was called. Maybe somebody out there will remember and help me out with that if they do. But it was kind of a neat little toy store that had some kind of cool, like different, kind of original toys and different things that were there, like train sets and I don't know, not just your garden variety toy store, but specialty kind of neat stuff. And it was affordable too. It wasn't like really high dollar kind of stuff that they were, just too proud of or whatever. All right, it's Lucky 7. I'm signing out for real here. I hope I get to see you in the next one. If you like what you're seeing over here, if you got any, comments, go ahead and leave those down below. If you don't like it, let me know about it. I'm a tough guy, I can take it. If you got some feedback that might be helpful for the channel, or even something that you want to see, or especially if you know about the history in some of these locations that I travel around here in Albuquerque, let me know in the comments below, and maybe I'll come back and do like extra videos on some of these areas and talk about some of that information and shout out the people that brought that information to me and let me know. But all the best to you guys. I love you. God bless, and don't forget, go vegan.